Welcome to another edition of His Healthy Habits. For today, I have an amazing couple. I like to call them a power couple that are based here in Houston and have an amazing marketing company that they started in the last several years. And I'm looking forward to telling their story to provide information, inspiration, and instruction to many of y'all who will be watching this episode. So with no further ado, let me introduce the crew. What's going on, y'all?
Hey,
What's up?
What's up?
All right, y'all.
Thanks for having us.
Hey,
Man, we
thank
super
you, thank
excited.
It's an honor. I've been watching what y'all been doing over the last couple years, and I've seen where y'all started, where y'all have come to. We just finished off the gala, a couple weeks, a couple months or so ago. Amazing event. So I want the people to get to know you. I know a lot of people sometimes see the name of a business, but I want them to get to know the individuals behind the business and what y'all are investing in it. Like I said, as the next power couple here in Houston, about to take over the game. And I know we talked about even some other things y'all gonna do, which I look forward to telling people about. So tell people who y'all are, man.
Cool. So my name is Jeremy Kraft. I'm the Chief Operating Officer at Black Book Houston, and this is my wife, Sheikah, who's the CEO of Black Book Houston. For those of you who don't know, Black Book Houston, we're the largest Black business directory here in Houston. We provide the businesses on our platform with advertising and marketing, and we help people be able to find and locate different Black-owned businesses here in Houston.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to say something?
Well, he pretty much said it. I'm Rashika Kraft. I'm the founder and CEO of Black Book Houston, and basically our main objective is just to make sure that these businesses here in Houston that are Black owned are seen and not overlooked. So that's the main goal of what we're doing.
So let's talk about the history, y'all. Let's backtrack. So I guess, Rashika, you being the CEO, how did the ideal even come to your head when you was like, man, I want to do this? Like, where did it come from?
So I've been an entrepreneur my entire life, and really I've been about supporting my people this entire time. Like that, I've always wanted to make sure I put the money in our community. That's just been a big deal for me. I'm not really sure why I've been like that, but I've always just been that way.
Yeah.
And one day I heard this commercial on 97.9 The Box, and it was Black Restaurant Week. They mentioned a restaurant that I had never heard of before, and I was just like, man, I'm an entrepreneur. I make cakes. They telling me on the radio it's a Black-owned business I never heard of. So how many other Black-owned businesses are out there that we don't know about?
Yeah.
So then I started thinking, you know what? I was like, people always complaining about Black people don't support Black people. True. We don't support Black-owned businesses. I was like, I think they just don't know about them. Because prior to the George Floyd incident and COVID, I mean, the only thing you knew about was the Breakfast Club, Turkey Leg Hood, and maybe the address and a few Black-owned businesses.
That's true. Here in Houston.
Here in Houston, a lot of people like to specify restaurants, Black-owned restaurants. But I'm like, it's a ton of us out here who are not restaurants, who are not brick and mortar. Nobody knows about it. So I was like, I'm gonna create a Black book and put all the Black-owned businesses in that book. And so it kind of just started off as like me trying to get this list together to let everybody know, hey, we got a whole bunch of Black-owned businesses. But as I started to really sit down and vision and just kind of, think it through, I was like, this is bigger than just a list. I don't want just a list. I want people to know about them, be able to look them up, be able to find them. I want to promote them on a platform. I want people to know these people are offering great customer service and they're offering great products. Like, we need to know more about them. So I started online. We started online. We were promoting on Instagram, and then I started building the website. And then from there, I was like, I'm gonna make an actual book. Black books are really sacred. The Bible's Black. A lot of people have Black books back in the day. They had that Black book with all the numbers in it and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, we're gonna take this book, we're gonna make it Black, we're gonna put all the Black-owned businesses in here because we're important and people need to know about us.
True.
So that's kind of how we got started.
True. So what year was that when you got that idea?
That was 2009. So
19.
2019. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That was 2019. So it was April when I heard the commercial. It was so I had the idea. I was like, okay, I think I want to do this. And then in July, I woke up to go get the DBA.
Okay.
And for some reason, I couldn't get it that day. So then I ended up getting the DBA on August the 1st. And August the 1st was when we hit the ground running.
Yeah.
So August 1st, 2019, that was when we officially started Black Book Houston.
So how did it go, like, from y'all basically transit? You said y'all started on Instagram, right? Where y'all did most of the promotion first?
Mm-hmm.
And then, well, you said the next step was to create the website, right?
So, I mean, we created the website right off, but the website was just kind of something for you to just look at. It wasn't really much of anything at first. And I started adding businesses on there, but most of our promotion and stuff that we were doing was on Instagram.
It was on Instagram.
And we were on YouTube. So we started off with an iPad. Okay. And we would go walk around, and he would like smile in the camera and eat the food. And we would just go to different Black-owned businesses and kind of post it on YouTube and just say like, hey, you know, this is a Black-owned spot. We're trying this out today. Yeah. And that's just kind of how we started doing it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to actually make it like a directory online.
Kind of like the old school Yellow Book we used to get to our parents' house.
Yes. Yeah. But what happened was I was making it online. I was like, okay, I want to make the book not just a list in the book. I want to make it interactive. So I put QR codes in the book. So
this is back in 2019.
This is 2019.
You was ahead of the game.
I'm like, exactly. Like so I don't even know how this came about. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put QR codes in this book. And so like next to each person's name and their business address and all of their information, it's QR code. So when you scan the QR code, it takes you to the website. And it lets you see like pictures, and if they have a video, it lets you see a video. You can click the Instagram, the website, the email. You can contact them. Yeah. And so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make it. You know, we're gonna do this different because you know it's a little mix between modern and old school. I want people who don't necessarily have that tech savvy background to be able to still look up businesses, and then you know for everybody that want to use their phone, you can scan the QR code. And then COVID hit, and everybody started using QR code. Yeah. So it was like, literally everything had lined up perfectly how God wanted it to line up.
So that's why y'all know y'all are definitely in the right lane. Like I love that. So what was like the growth from like April of 2019 to now? Like when y'all saw like y'all clientele or the people y'all are featuring in the Black Book. Like what did y'all start off with, like 5, 10, 15, 20 businesses? And
in the first book is 330 businesses
in 2019.
So that book came out February. So we started, working on it. But we started working on it in August. We didn't drop the book until February.
So February 2020.
No, February. February 2020.
Okay.
Yeah, February 2020, the book came out. So it was only like 330.
And it's the straight Houston Black business.
Houston Black business.
So all we had was 330. It was a pretty nice book, first one. Yeah,
at that time we was like, oh man, we got 330 businesses. We killing the game.
Yes, right. That's a good number to have.
So we like, okay, and I think I had set a goal. I was like, I just want to double it.
Yeah.
That's all I asked to do was double that goal. So I was like, the next book, we're going to do 600. George Floyd happened. And unfortunately, there was this horrible tragedy. But everybody became more aware of wanting to support Black-owned businesses. Now you got companies like Chase and, just
Google.
Google,
everybody
all these companies
have these
now.
different Black, initiatives to where they want to support Black-owned.
They were coming to, a lot of people was coming to us.
When the George Floyd incident happened, I don't know if you remember, but there was a Black Tuesday. It was like, hey,
the Blackout Tuesday.
So on this Tuesday, we're going to go shop at, nothing but Black-owned businesses. So everybody was super excited, but then it was a problem. It was
didn't know where to go.
Where do we go? So mind you, we started in August of 2019. It's 2020 now, right? So Fox 26, they take our directory and post it online.
Wow.
Then they interview us and say, hey, this is Black Book Houston. If you look into, shop Black on or Blackout Tuesday, utilize their directory. And that's when we blew up. Like the followers started rolling in. People started really seeing what we were doing and supporting our vision. And that's when things really like took off for us drastically. Yeah.
I love that.
That along with consistency, because like even though, we had that spurt, we just never really stopped.
Yeah.
So like, it's just us two, building this brand right now. And so I will always be like, hey, we gotta be on it. We gotta do this.
Yeah.
You know, it's me and you. I know it's a lot, but we gotta do this. We gotta post 3 times a day. For
Yeah.
the longest for like the first year we post 3 times a day. Then I was like,
I would say for
First
2 years straight.
we post
If you go
3
back
times
to our
a day.
Instagram, we didn't miss a day of posting.
Really?
3 times minimum a day.
Oh, y'all was
Like 3 posts a day. Like
y'all was mavericks.
Yeah.
Y'all was
Yeah,
killing
we
it.
was
and then we had like a day for like each thing. Like you had
So,
money
like-
making Mondays. So on Mondays we was posting like financial services and accountants and things of that nature. Tuesday was Talent Tuesday, so we'll post music artists, just different type of artists, painters, people that paint, do like different creatives, things like that. Wednesday was what was it, Wisdom Wednesday?
Probably so.
So yeah, on Wednesday we would just like give advice and give free game.
Yeah.
You know, to just be something inspirational. You know what I mean, that we would post. Thursdays was what.
Baby, that was so long ago.
Yeah, it was so long ago.
So y'all still
But
doing
we
something
had something each day.
Yeah, we
Foodie
had-
Fridays was
yeah.
restaurant. Saturdays was Shop With Me Saturday. And then Sunday we
Sundays
would do a
was shout out,
spotlight.
yeah,
So we'll do a
spotlight.
video. So every Sunday you just could rely on us doing a video. And mind
going
you,
to the business.
yeah,
and
it was
showcasing.
us on an iPad.
Yeah.
You know, starting off with an iPad, then eventually upgrading and finally getting the camera, and then like actually producing high quality, high content videos. But yeah.
But
yeah.
the consistency though allowed us to just keep growing. So, you know, every year or every so often, I was like, hey, we gotta elevate. So like, I remember this time last year, I was like, hey, we cannot work ourselves as hard as we've been working. I was like, we sat down with Declared Marketing. Shout out to Declared Marketing.
Yes.
And I was like, hey, we want to elevate this business, but we cannot afford to work as hard as
You
we've been
said
working.
Declare?
Declared.
How you spell it? Just for the people watching, they want to lock you up.
DECLARED. Don't put me on a spelling bee right now. Declared
You know, I love
Marketing.
promoting the other. They are black owned businesses.
Of
sure.
course.
All right,
Yeah,
all right, all right.
everything
Yeah.
we do is black owned.
Love it.
But yes, so we sat down with her and was like, hey, like we work really hard, but we're not seeing the profit. We can't continue if we keep going this route. And so she sat down, she came up with a plan, and literally like last year we took off again. We started hosting more events, and I was like, hey, I want to have a gala. I was like, I don't think there's no place where we're recognizing the smaller black-owned businesses. Like, you know, they have different events and awards and galas and things like that, but only like the top people getting recognized. I was like, I want to recognize the everyday movers and shakers, because I'm right here with y'all.
Yeah.
I see the work it takes to run a gym, to run a nail salon, to run a restaurant that's not this big brick and mortar. Like, I see it.
It's true.
Like, we're behind the scenes, we're recording it, like we're there.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, bro, nobody's recognizing these people. I want to do something with them. It's the end of the year. We done worked hard. We deserve to celebrate. We having a game.
So true.
Yeah.
So that was we just, you know, we're always trying to do something for our people.
Yeah.
And I think the more that we just stick with that and follow God's plan, the more we continue to elevate, is because like we just being consistent. We're doing what God's telling us to do.
That's true.
And, you know, the main objective is making sure that our people get seen and that those resources are funneled back into our community.
Yeah. And like, it's so true. I love how you said like following God's plan, because, you know, it seemed like things just lined up, but again, you were following your purpose, and basically, you know, the dominoes were just lining up and falling in place, which, you know, a lot of people, I know sometimes it's hard as entrepreneurs to pursue your purpose and passion because you have a lot of doubts and stuff like that, or, you know, struggles, or, you know, maybe you sometimes, so let me ask y'all that. So like earlier in the earlier stages when before y'all were kind of edging on towards those 300 clients, like what were y'all doubts or struggles that y'all had before getting to that point? You was like, man, we in the right lane. Like, what was some of y'all remember?
He don't have no doubts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He don't worry about
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
He wake up every day and he just be like, yo, God gonna take care of it.
Yeah,
I be
yeah,
like,
straight up.
God got us.
Did,
Hey,
did
but-
you not
yeah,
see the
Because for me, for the longest, my background is civil engineering, right? So after I graduated from Prairie View, I hopped right into civil engineering in 2015. I was a civil engineer for 4.5 years before I quit my job. I quit my job in November. Mind you, Black Book Houston had started in August. So from August...
November what year?
2019.
So you quit 2019?
Yeah.
To do Black
Black
Book
Book Houston, right?
Wow.
So for me, it was so much stuff going on at the very beginning of 2015 when I first started working at this engineering firm, to where God was showing me like, hey, you may think you like doing civil engineering, but I have something greater for you. But I was staying, where I was because I was working on a $1.2 billion project. I was 25 years old. That's unheard of in most engineers' careers, period, as a civil engineer to work on such a project. And that was my second multi-billion-dollar project that I had worked on because I was in South Korea. I did an internship in South Korea while I was still in college. So I'm thinking like, this is what I'm supposed to do. I have all these accolades. I'm smart. I'm killing it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in a management position, a management role in my early 20s as a civil engineer. I got 16 other firms that are reporting directly to me.
At
you know 25. What I'm saying? At 25. So like I'm like, it's really my ego is like telling me to stay, but it's so much stuff, racism, you know what I mean? Like people, of course hating like this young black man is, doing it, like what gives him the right to do it? Like didn't have my professional engineering license, didn't even have my EIT, none of that. And I'm like, it's God's favor that's just like blessing me. Yeah. Then I started getting into more of a business development side. So I'm like shaking hands with the mayor, all this kind of stuff. And people like looking at me like, how's this dude doing all this? But they not seeing the stress that I'm dealing with at work. They're not seeing the people that's messing with me. And then boom, there's an FBI investigation. My company, like I'm driving to work one day, FBI pull up, it's helicopters, like everything. Shut us down. You could Google this.
Wow.
Shut us down. And one of my mentors at another firm, he called me. He was like, hey, I got a job for you. Whenever you're ready to come, I got you. I'm going to take care of you. I was like, nah, dude. Because I'm working on a huge project. I'm like, nah, dude. This company hired me right out of college. Yeah. Like, I'm going to be loyal to them. A few months after that, the vice president committed suicide because he was tied to the whole FBI investigation. Wow. I'm like, God is just showing me, like, all this stuff. Like, dude, you need to get up out of here. Like, this ain't for you. But I'm like, nah. I get tired of, like, being behind a computer all day on the management side. So I started getting in the field more, following one of my other mentors. He has a heart attack at work. I'm like, it's like God showing me like all this stuff, right? So I'm like, I'm gonna still stay. But then I just get fed up. I forgot what the straw was that just like broke the camel's back.
They were trying to make you do more work. Like they just kept pouring more work on you.
Yeah, but not appreciating me. Also showing that appreciation. So I left there and I went to another engineering firm where my mentor had gave me that call, and I had quit my job. I didn't have a backup plan or like anything. I just quit my job, and the day I quit, he called me and was like, "Hey, what's going on?" I said, "Hey, I just quit my job." He thought I was joking around because I joke around a lot. I was like, "Nah, I'm serious." He's like, "All right, let's go to lunch." I went to lunch with him. That was my interview. He asked me what I wanted to do. He gave me the ropes. He brought me into the company he was working at, that he was the vice president of business development for. I started working for him. He ends up maybe 4 months into me working. He has a heart attack at work. He passes away. So now they put me into his role as a vice president, but I don't have a title, I don't have a salary, I don't have none of that. Yeah. But as I'm in that role, I still have my own responsibilities. So now I'm understanding how he had a heart attack. Like it's so much stress, so much. So I'm like, hey, I'm doing this and I'm not 100% passionate about it. So at what point do I start working on something for myself and, that I really love and that I really enjoy doing? Yeah. But by that time, I had already kind of started, dibbling and dabbling into Black Book Houston. I wasn't 100% committed to it, but I was just like, hey man, I'm taking advantage of going to these restaurants, eating food and all this kind of stuff and shooting videos. But I was like, man, I really love doing this. And like Sheikah said, we've always supported Black-owned businesses before Black Book Houston. Like the builder of our house is a Black-owned builder. Like we do anything like around the house, upgrades, we make sure that it's Black-owned. We've always been that way. So the passion that we've always had for doing that, I was like, it's a no-brainer. Let me go in here. And it's like, God, you already gave me all these different tools and you like helped me learn all this stuff from corporate America. Now let's incorporate that into Black Book Houston.
Man, I love that. Yeah. I love that because, I tell people all the time, sometimes we look at our struggles and our shortcomings as a reason to give up, but actually that's a reason to keep going. Right. And I love that, Jeremy, because that's exactly what you did. And you took those, like some people say the losses, but you saw them as lessons. Exactly. And applied them to what y'all doing now, to where y'all, seem like y'all just flourishing and living in y'all passion. It's not always about the profit. Right. When I just had a conversation with somebody about this in a previous episode. We were talking about, when you pursue something, especially in your profession and something that you feel like God aligned you with, like the passion will lead to a paycheck.
Yeah.
Versus a lot of people entrepreneurs. There's nothing wrong with it, but there's nothing wrong with trying to go for the paycheck than trying to find passion within it. But especially y'all know, being an entrepreneur is not a 9 to 5.
Right.
It's
For sure.
24/7.
Yep.
You know, and so if you're not passionate about it.
Yeah.
Then either you're gonna phase out of the business, or like you said, it's just gonna seem like it's not worth it.
Right.
But man, I love that, Jim. So like you took those lessons. And it's funny how you said like you were paying attention to all these people who were in these different positions before you, and like those signs. I think you do have to actually look at the small signs too. Because God, I feel like from God will try and move you and be like, hey, bro, like, I want you to do something else. You I know you good here. Like you probably had a good 401k, good pension, all that. But all that. I think like it's interesting hearing you say like the fulfillment from what y'all are doing now.
Cause like even with that, like. And I'm going to get biblical, right? So I always compare it to the story of Jonah when he was running away from God, right? And he was on the boat. And everybody trying to figure out what, like the storm calmed as soon as he, jumped off the boat or they threw him overboard. Yeah. And, he found, confinement in the belly of the whale. And that's just how it was for me. Like, I was so stressed out. I had everything that you just named: good 401k, good salary, consistent income,
insurance,
insurance.
Yeah.
But I was stressed out. Like, I was super stressed out. I wasn't at peace with myself. I wasn't happy. I thought I was happy, but you know what I mean. To quit my job and to do this, like, don't get me wrong, it's still some type of stress, but I tell people all the time, it's a different kind of stress. It ain't the same stress I was dealing with in corporate America. True. Like, I'm at like peace. So it's like when obstacles occur, I get excited, honestly, because I'm like, okay, it's a test, right? Yeah. So at the end of this test, we're going to have a testimony, and it's going to just help us become stronger for us to like accomplish the next test that's going to be in front of us.
True.
Yeah. So
y'all went from 300
to 12. We
got almost 13. We
almost to 1,300 now.
Yeah, close to 1,300 now.
Close to 1,300.
1,300 in a matter of almost less than 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
That's major. Yeah. That's major because the average business, number one, doesn't grow that exponentially that quick within a matter of like several years.
And we're still growing.
Y'all still are.
Like every day, people are still submitting their businesses. We still, add them to the platform.
Blessings.
We just out here trying to make sure people will see us. Hopefully, we'll be able to expand to other cities soon.
This year.
Yeah.
So,
we are looking to expand to our next city this year.
What city are y'all trying to go for?
So Dallas, because it's closer.
Okay.
And it's easier for us to kind of get back and forth right now. So I'm gonna go. Dallas is gonna be first. But we have a total of 10 other major cities. It's Dallas.
I know y'all mentioned that. Did y'all want to put it out there?
No, we can put it out there.
Did y'all mention they tell too?
It's Dallas,
Atlanta, New Orleans,
New York,
okay.
Philly, Detroit,
Chicago,
Los Angeles, Miami, LA.
Okay.
LA, that's 10.
10. So what's the strategic success strategy that y'all have made up in y'all head that y'all like kind of? I know sometimes people talk about a business plan and writing stuff down, but sometimes I think from an entrepreneur, your business plan, the greatest business plan is right up here. What have y'all thought, put together like hey, this is how we're gonna do to get there?
So we ain't gonna spill secrets.
No, you gotta get all the sauce. We gotta make sure.
What we're looking to do is get an app and release that app by stages into those other cities.
Okay.
So that we can, because like people are always asking us, y'all ain't got no Dallas business, and we from here, such and such, and like we know people are looking for them, and like when we go to those cities, we purposely try to find them too. Like we went to Chicago, had a whole we celebrated our anniversary in Chicago, and decided we was gonna do everything black on. Yeah, it's a little hard because where do you go?
You don't have a Black Book Chicago,
and then you can't really rely on the platforms who have now decided they want to add those Black-owned businesses to their platforms, their directories, because they're not doing a verification process. And like me, you can tell me it's Black-owned all day, but I'm gonna go research it.
Really?
Yeah. So
how do y'all research them?
Man,
do y'all go to the businesses? What do y'all do?
It's a mixture of everything. Like
God has blessed me with a special talent to where I can find a person if I need to find them. So
So
who's the recruiter? Or do they just kind of come to y'all now?
So at first we was out here trying to like, sign up.
Yeah.
People was treating us like I was lame. I was like, okay, you know, they went grabbing, like I was trying to tell them, like, yo, we got this dope concept and we like it's a black book, and everybody's just like, wait.
I think for our people, especially here in Houston, what I noticed in Houston, people don't want to support you until everybody else is supporting you. So in those initial stages, it was kind of tough because we the new kids on the block. Yeah. So when you talk about, you know, turning your passion into profit, like our passion carried us the whole first year. Because we was doing it for free. Like we wasn't charging you to do a video. We wasn't charging you to market your business. We wasn't charging for any of those things. So it was like our passion. Yeah. So and I give them a little secret to our sauce. It's just building relationships and being genuine, you know, good people. You know, so when you build those, like when people see you and they feel that it's genuine, they appreciate that and they remember that too. Yeah. So
now they just come to us and we be like, hey.
That's guys
welcome
and then
to
too,
the
like think about it. If we do an awesome job for Reggie C Fitness, you gonna obviously tell, you know, your people, you know, the things that we're doing. So that's what it's all about. Just making sure that, you know, we make a good first impression. And then also that we're doing good quality work and providing great services.
Man, that was all critical what y'all said. Now, you just said a key word. Like, how have y'all noticed y'all, like, relations or your professional circle has developed since, like, month 1 of April 2019 up until now?
Man, I'm not a networker. I don't like talking to people. I'm more of an introvert, and it's not nothing against people. It's just me. I'm not like necessarily shy. I just sit back and I observe. That's just my role. But like now, I be like, he has to stay on me all the time. He be like, Sheikah, why you don't utilize the people in your network? It's just not normal to me, and like it's crazy because like if I need something. Like, if I just need anything, it's like literally a text message, a phone call, or a DM away. Like, we have built such a large community that don't just support, like, you know, the people that's on our platform. They support us and what we're trying to do, where we're trying to go. And I always ask them, I'm like, dang, why people always trying to do nice stuff for us? I don't get it. Like, we have people like, hey, no, we're not going to charge you for this. I'm like, no, I want to pay for it. They're like, no.
It's because y'all attract that energy. Y'all
and I'm just like, dang. Like, energy. You know, and like our network has grown tremendously, and I just be like, he'd be like, you got to get out and talk to people more. I'd be like, I don't know what to say. But, you know, I've stepped outside of my comfort zone, and it's like, the more that I do that, the easier it becomes. Because at first, me and him was just working night and day, like 24/7, all day. Now, I can rest a little bit. I'd be like, hey, you want to partner on this event?
Right.
Oh, okay, come on, let's do this. And now all I got to do is show up, put my name on a flyer, and get the location, because I got the connections for the locations. Like, I'm not even having to work myself as hard because we built such a large network. And, like, everybody's winning. And I really appreciate us growing, because in the beginning, like I said, we was messaging people. I was getting left on red. I hate rejection. Like, I hate it. Like, you ain't got to say no to me but one time, and I'm never going to ask you for nothing else. And so I was like, God. But now it's like, I'll message people and I'll be like, dang, you think they'll message me back, of course, let's do this. I'm like, dang, that was easy.
Yeah, like people be waiting. Like I was waiting. We was waiting to hear from you.
I was like, oh,
that's dope. So when did y'all see that transition come from when, like, it was like, man, one of my entrepreneurs, we got to call it thumb trapping. You know, your IG trying to DM everybody, get them locked in, versus to where it transitioned to the point where y'all are now, where it's like, hey, like, we here. Like, you know,
somewhere between 2020 and 2021 is when things really started to change. But I do realize that it wasn't so much of it wasn't like people just, you know, oh, I don't know them. It was a lot of we didn't necessarily have our stuff as together as we do now. And I can see that, because like people message me, like we get messages all the time about wanting to be on podcasts and stuff. I done learned my lesson, because I done did so many podcasts that have never aired. Never, and I'm just like, yo, we don't have that time to waste anymore. So I get it.
I appreciate y'all coming on this.
No, I got you. No, we got you. No, we hear it. We hear. But no, it's like, you know, I'm like, hey, can you send us previous, you know, interviews, or can you know, you want to do this with us, you want to meet with us here, can you send me the information on, because we just don't have the time
entrepreneurs,
anymore.
Especially y'all being a 2-man show right now, mainly, time is everything.
Yeah, for sure.
I tell people all the time, like when it comes to me, I think the average person thinks like in days. I'd be like, oh, I had a good day, bad day, right? Taking advantage of their day. Some people, I think when you become a little bit more effective, you start thinking in hours.
Yes.
Then they said some of the most efficient people in life think in minutes. But they said the most efficient people, the most successful people focus on every second of their day. And because you understand like why these minutes you looking at your clock like, hey bro, you sitting here talking to me, but I got stuff to do.
Right.
Y'all probably got a list of 100 things that in the back of your head. You like, man, I can give you this hour, but that hour gonna push me back 2 to 3 days. So that's why I said, man, I definitely can respect that. When it comes to y'all time, especially y'all doing what y'all do. So what's the plan? Are y'all planning on like scaling or delegating or bringing team members on? Like, what's y'all plan with that? Because y'all growing pretty quick.
Yeah, we are growing pretty quick. We do have a team in Dallas, actually.
Really?
Yeah, we do have a Dallas team.
Why Dallas? But do y'all want in Houston? Or?
If we have one, but it's not like, so the team in Dallas, we don't have to really do nothing with them. They just waiting on the app.
Yeah.
Okay.
But here, I mean, I don't know.
Here we have our people. They not like officially like Black Book employees or staff or anything like that. But we have people who like, hey, I just found this, new Black-owned business. Check it out, this and that. And then we have people that we can rely on as far as like when we have events. I know I have a list of people that I can count on to be volunteers or to, do certain things.
And we have partnerships here.
Yeah.
So that helps. But, this year, I did say we were looking to expand our team. We are looking to hire some people. The thing is,
and we've hired people before.
Yeah.
But I had to find
the truth.
I just be like, oh, and the thing is, I've hired people and I had to go back and redo their work, and that sets me so far back.
Yeah.
Like far, not just financially. It's just like, dog, I spent all this money, and I have to do your work. Yeah. Like it's really tough, and so finding somebody. The goal is really finding somebody that has the same passion as you. True. And so, it's not really that easy.
Not even the same passion, but just a certain level of passion.
Yeah.
Not only for the work that we do, but for the work that they do, period. Right?
Yeah,
that's true. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were like, man, just finding the right team members is one of the hardest things when you're an entrepreneur, especially when y'all are the visionaries of the business. Because you got to get people to tap in and get them to understand. Like, they may not be locked in 100% with you on the vision, but understanding why the vision is here and where you want to take this and where this mission y'all wanted to go. And getting people to be like, just basically kind of all in from their standpoint of what they can deliver. Because I know like y'all probably sure y'all been through several people, family. Like, I think entrepreneurs, we try to get our family members on first, get them to help in, tap in. We like, oh, that don't work. Then you get your partners, your friends, now that don't work. You know what I'm saying? then you be like, you know what, I'm about to hire somebody. Like we got so I interviewed one of the top realtors here in Houston, black realtors, and he was like, yeah, Reggie, I have a 70-question interview process.
Oh wow!
Where it comes to the people to do, because he's like, man, I asked them like their family, what their goals is for when they going on vacation, and I had to, and it made sense because when I think for myself, when we hire people, we just be like, oh, you look like a good look, just
right.
About a couple questions. Oh, you seem cool, but you start to understand more when it comes to like your vision. Like you have to really make sure that person is aligned, with where y'all are at and where y'all want to take the business too. So that's my question. Like, I guess what do y'all see this business doing like in the next like 5 years?
In the next 5 years, I see this business becoming the Black Yelp. Like that's just the vision that I have for it. With a mix of our culture added to it. I look forward to us having events in other cities. Houston coming to Atlanta to, the events we have in there. Atlanta coming to Dallas, and just us really coming together as one big Black community and just supporting one another, learning how each other operate. Because that's one thing I have learned. I am not above learning from anybody. So anytime I'm sitting with somebody, I learn something different. Whether they're doing something good or bad, I'm like, okay, this is what not to do. This is how we can implement this into Black Book Houston. So, we want to do more. 2024, we're gonna be having a Black business retreat.
Okay.
In Jamaica.
What?
It's no work, all play.
Man, y'all
like just come and
get
just
you the
like
Birdman rub.
yes, like just come. We want everybody that can come and just have a good time. Like we work hard.
Yeah.
Like so, we want to do more. I think as entrepreneurs, we work super hard and we don't take care of ourselves like we should. Yeah. And in all aspects, I want us to be great. Mm-hmm. I don't just want us to be great in business. I want us to be great in our personal lives as well. Mm-hmm. We have wellness retreats coming up. We try to do as much as we can to make sure our people are straight. Yeah. Because we all we got. And I like seeing us succeed. Like when I see somebody else making, I'm like, oh yeah, we can make it too. Yeah. We all gonna make it. So I definitely think it's room for all of us to grow and flourish. And I see us being, nationwide. Yeah. That's the goal, but I want those 10 major cities to have like a hub, just like Blackwood Houston is here. Right. We want that to be the same plan to go forth into those 10 major cities where it's events going on and they hosting different, career, health fair, wellness events and stuff like that. Because I think that us being in the community has really helped grow Blackwood Houston. Because it's not just about, posting people on Instagram. Like, we show up for these companies. We give away free resources. We just blessed the business with $5,000 at the gala. We did turkey drives. We gave food out to, people for Christmas time and stuff like that. Like, we're always trying to give back. And I think that makes a difference versus us just sitting, like, we don't sit on the resources that come in. We literally put it back into the community. And that makes a huge difference. I believe it does. So that's what we want to see happen for other cities as well. And
this is what the people need to know. Because you know what? Even, I tell people all the time, there's only so much you can see from social media. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But, to get to know the visionaries behind the mission of why this was set out initially is, like, very important. Because I think even myself just listening to y'all, like, I've seen what y'all are doing, but even just hearing this, like, makes me appreciate, what y'all are doing.
Thank you.
More. Because you're right. Like that's a question of mine. Like being a couple, y'all been in this together in the trenches. Mm-hmm. Like how are y'all able to balance like work life, entrepreneur life with personal life?
Man,
kind of going into this fourth year.
It is tough.
It is.
Mm-hmm. But one thing I recommend is having some type of counsel. Because that kind of helps us get stuff like on track. Like if I, sometimes I'd be like, oh, work. And, I might not make enough time for Jeremy, but we'll go sit down. And we've always gone to marriage counseling, like before marriage, and we never stop. We go when nothing's wrong. We go if we have a disagreement or whatever, we just go.
People used to make fun of us because we was going to marriage counseling. Yeah. Like, guys, man. So I'd be with my guys. They're like, hey, man, let's go out tonight. I'm like, I can't. I got to go to marriage counseling. Like, dude, you ain't even married yet. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But not understanding. I think Black people don't take our mental health as serious as we should, right? Mm-hmm. So like she said, counseling has been tremendous for us because it's always given us the tools to be able to navigate situations before they even occur. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it's always, like, I like quotes, right? 'Cause I do a lot of reading. One of the quotes I like is, I would rather be a warrior in a garden than to be a gardener in a war. You know what I'm saying? So it's like just training yourself and equipping yourself, like for anything, even though nothing's wrong.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You don't get gas when they ran out. Mm-hmm. Some people try to keep their gas filled at halfway. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not just gonna stop going to marriage counseling. It's like I like it. I enjoy it.
Yeah, for sure.
It really helps us just like talk about things that's going on and put things into perspective. Because I remember, like, after having a baby, I was like, man, I remember I was going off. I was like, man, he don't help me with the baby and blah, blah, blah. I was just like, so mad. I was like, I gotta do everything. I gotta breastfeed the baby. I gotta get up. I gotta do this. And so then the marriage counselor was like, so let's talk about what Jeremy does do. They was like, does Jeremy, change the baby diaper? I was like, yeah. It's like, well, does Jeremy take the diaper genie out, throw the diapers away? I was like, yeah. It's like, well, does Jeremy go get you something to eat? I was like, yeah. It's like,
and it was like
Jeremy.
a list.
Like they kept,
it was like a whole list.
Oh, I was like, well, because, I guess he does do stuff. It just feels like it's like, your feelings are indicative to truth, and that you think You know, in your mind right now, your judgment is clouded. But, you know, after talking it through, I went home and I was like, oh my God, Jeremy does a lot. Yeah. And so I was just like, I was tripping. And I recommend therapy to, like, any form of therapy to, you know, everybody, because entrepreneurship is hard, relationships is hard, life is hard.
So to put it together, yeah, you know what I mean?
I just think it's really beneficial to just, you know, have somebody you can talk to. Yeah. And that's not biased, because if you have somebody that's biased, you know, they're not going to give you good advice. But that has really helped us put things into perspective, because it hasn't allowed outside influences to affect our personal relationship. And I recommend counseling. Like,
and then for me, I would say, like, to any guys, like, to humble yourself, right? Because I know, you know, like I said before, I can have an ego, right? But I've humbled myself to like realize, like, hey, yeah, I'm the head of the house, you know what I mean? But I can also listen, you know what I mean, to the things, because although I'm the head, she's the neck, right? So it's like, your head is useless without a neck, because if I'm trying to go this way and I need to turn this way, I have to do it with my neck. So it's like humbling myself to understand that, and to also allow her to lead. Like, allowing her to lead doesn't make me any less of a man. So back with Houston, she's the CEO, she's the head, she's the leader. So it's like, hey, at the end of the day, it's your vision. I'm here to support that. And then understanding, like, for our household, you know what I'm saying, we have our vision as a whole, but it's like making sure that I lead in that space and allowing her to lead in Black Book Houston. And it's just like, it works. It ain't perfect, but you know what I mean? It works. It's like very close to perfect. Like, exactly. So that. Yeah, it's perfectly crafted. Yeah. Man. So
y'all touched on a ton of transparency right there, and I appreciate that. Yeah. I know there's a couple out there, individual out there, you know, who probably sometimes I always tell, like, especially in entrepreneurship, you feel like you're alone in a lot of states. And especially now, like, there are, you know, you see couples out there who are starting businesses together, because entrepreneur is the role of the road of entrepreneurship is becoming more, you know, promoted and popular now. But I think what y'all just said is gonna help, you know,
right? Because a lot of people don't keep it real. Like, and then too, Instagram is a big highlight reel. And
so you only see the good.
Man, I went. I'm not gonna even say the name of the event, but I was at an event recently and I was disappointed, because I'm like, you know, the person who threw the event, is no offense to him. He had a great vision for it and all that kind of stuff. But a lot of stuff that I see is like, it's a lot of cap. It's a lot of glitz and glamours. But then it's like, when you actually show up, you like, what is this? You know what I mean?
Because people can make it look good on Instagram.
True. So I would also, you know, say to, you know, people who want to, you know, become entrepreneurs, don't look at Instagram and think, oh, because this couple is killing it, I'm going to follow them and do everything that they're doing. I would say try to build a relationship, you know, with somebody in your city or somebody that's close to you that you know, and then get to know them and develop their relationship so they could answer those real questions that you may have about entrepreneurship, so they could give you this type of transparency, you know what I mean, to tell you about the tough times, so that you just don't get up and quit your job thinking it's going to be easy, and then now you mad at Jeremy and Sheikah because
we made it look
made it look easy, and we never said it was going to be easy. Yeah.
That's super dope, because y'all being partners and parents, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So that's my next question. How did y'all balance the second part of being a parent with giving
Shout out to
energies?
The village.
Okay. Yeah. Tell me what's the village.
Shout out to the village, man. Yeah. My parents, his parents, man. They come through. Yeah. I didn't even expect it. I was really not looking to have a child. I had just asked him in 2020. I said, sir, can we wait 3 more years? Because, you know, it's the pandemic. We ain't do nothing this year. We done missed out on life. I feel like we've been left behind. I was like, let's wait 3 more years. Yeah. Why I got pregnant that year? In August or whatever. I don't know. I got pregnant. So then I'm like, yo, we're like in the middle of like our peak of entrepreneurship. Like people are taking to Black Book Houston. This is a setback. I was like, man, and to a certain extent, like stuff was coming out slower than I wanted it to. I mean, I had goals and timelines for myself. So I was very frustrated because I was like, no, I got stuff to do. But being pregnant, I had to sit down somewhere, which I guess I just needed to sit down somewhere because it allowed me to be able to think, like, I can't move around like I used to. So now I got to strategically think, how we going to make all this work with the baby? But our parents have, man, they have been super supportive. You know, and I'm really thankful for that because like I feel like when I've been an entrepreneur my whole life, I feel like I disappointed them because I didn't necessarily I have a bachelor's of science degree. I went to college, and I did what I was supposed to do, but I think I was kind of disappointment for a while because they expected me to go get a job in that field, and I didn't. But I couldn't get one, and I actually was happy with just doing my own thing. So at first, you know, I didn't really feel the support of me as an entrepreneur, but with Black Book Houston, I mean, I didn't even have to ask them to support. They was like, "Oh, we coming. Let us get a shirt. Where can we show up?" And then once the baby came, like my mom came and stayed with us for probably like 2 months, and she cooked and she contributed to me not losing the baby weight. And
Shout out to mom. Yeah.
shout out to my mama. But like now, I mean, I had to call my daddy this morning. I was like, "Hey, daddy." I had woke him up. I thought he was up, but it was 9:51. I was like, "Hey, I forgot to tell y'all we got an interview today. Can y'all watch the baby?" And so we went, dropped him off, came over here,
came through.
Yeah, the village really.
The village always coming
coming
through. Like just being able to call our parents at any time and they come over. Like even the village within the Black Book Houston community, right?
Yes.
Like we might have a business meeting and people being open to, you know, allowing us to have our son there. Yeah. You know, or we might be at the gym and, you know, we got
Debo done watched my baby a couple times.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I had to go to the gym.
Yeah. That's love, because you couldn't get no corporate job where you
right.
But no, I'm just thankful that, you know, it's all been working out. It is hard, you know. I'm looking for a nanny.
Okay.
Because
we're going to find that in Black Book Houston.
Yeah, we're looking for a nanny because it is a struggle. Like I don't get to get much work done during the day because he's so busy. And he requires so much energy because he wants to play, and I gotta keep him out of the pots and the pans and the glassware, and he's in our refrigerator picking up the beers, and he
man,
I don't even know.
Here,
he
man.
just oh my god. But you know, it doesn't allow me to get the work done like I need to.
Yeah.
But you know, if I need help though, not like I just try not to bother them.
Yeah.
Cause I'll be like trying to save it when I really need
you gotta
it.
say
I'll be like,
I know what you mean. Like, hey, we got this coming up in a couple weeks. So,
I'll be like,
let me make sure.
We get ready to take our anniversary.
Save your lifeline.
I know we finna be gone for a week, so I'm like, I'm gonna try not to ask so much. But they don't mind. They come through. His mom comes through. His dad, my sisters, and they. Whatever we need. I haven't even, honestly, we did announce the pregnancy.
Yeah.
And I really haven't bought nothing for my baby, to be honest with you.
Y'all been on grind time so much? Or just really just because y'all
No, because people have been
poured into us so much to where.
I bought the sign for his room.
Uh-huh.
I bought the paint. And we bought the dresser. We didn't buy nothing else.
So when you say people been pouring into you, this is like the Black Book Houston people pouring into you? Or
anybody. So some of them found out.
Yeah.
They sent diapers. Like when people found out, they started sending us stuff.
Yeah.
I have yet to really buy him any clothes.
Yeah.
And he has plenty of clothes. Like I'm talking about clothes that he can probably
some stuff
wear
he can't fit. Right?
Yeah. He has plenty of clothes. I just started buying diapers and wipes maybe 3 or 4 months ago.
Wow.
He's about to be 2.
But you know what? And I'm not to interrupt you, but I think, you know, from hearing what y'all said in y'all story, number one, y'all are still pouring into people, into our community and our culture. Y'all have poured so much into the last 3 years. Like, honestly, I just feel like it's being reciprocated through God.
For sure.
You know?
For sure.
Like, you know, y'all, that energy, that positive energy and those positive frequencies y'all put out into the world is just kind of like vibrating out and coming back like a boomerang. Yeah. Y'all actually deserve it, man. Y'all are
appreciate
good people
that.
at heart. I could tell that, too. And I just love it, man. I just love, like, you know, what y'all are doing. And I know y'all said, you know, backtracking, y'all said August.
It was August 2019.
August
Official
2019. But April, y'all had 300, right?
No. August, so when
April 2020? Well, y'all said, when y'all had your first 300?
The first, February 2020.
February 20. And then now 1,300.
Yes.
So I remember y'all also said that the first year y'all made pretty much nothing. Like,
I'm talking about, we ain't made.
Yeah.
The only money we made was off the books, but I mean, we really didn't make that because we spent that.
You know, it's crazy. Most people, and especially in business, y'all know, like most people won't do it for 1 or 2 months and not see some type of benefit and keep going. But y'all went for a whole year, whole 12 months, probably put a lot more than that.
The crazy part is I kept saying, "Oh, I don't want to charge people. I want to do this for free." Then I started realizing, I was like, "Hey." I was like, "That don't even make sense." I was like, "We buying $2,000 cameras." I'm like, "We can't just like." I'm a full-time entrepreneur. He quit his job, so I'm like, where the money gonna come from? Right. We got a mortgage.
See, the money was coming in. She was like, "Oh yeah, we could do this for free."
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I was over there doing the engineering job.
No, that's not necessarily true. First of all, I'm a baker, and I was baking, and I was making money.
That too.
So I was like, okay. Yeah, I was like, oh, we should be able to do this for free. But then
I'm looking at the budget. I'm like,
I started pouring all of my time into it. And I was like, okay, like I enjoy doing this, but I do have to still provide for my family.
Yeah. Sure.
So, I mean, even now, it's like we charge $35 to get on. What's $35?
Yeah. That's
like,
that's
you know, and I've been keeping it low.
So.
You know, we charge, you know, $250 for reels, but I'm like, hey, y'all, we got high quality 4K cameras.
Yeah.
We come out, we shoot it for you.
And y'all shoot it yourself.
We shoot it ourselves.
Edit yourself.
Edit.
Yes,
see, people don't know
edit
this.
I
see it. I'm thinking y'all got somebody.
No, ain't no
it's
team.
him. It's him.
I'm thinking the guy from the gala who y'all had behind the video cameras on editing. That's
Jeremy
crazy.
does all of the videos now. So it used to be me.
Most power to you,
and I taught him how to do it. He got cold. So I got fired. He does all of the video. He does all of the editing. And I come in and I do the marketing part. So I post it on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. So I mean, you can.
So she posted. Yeah, we got a team.
We're gonna have a part 2 interview to go even more depth because y'all got me set off. I didn't even know Jeremy was the one doing it.
Nah, Jeremy the one doing the video.
Y'all delegating, handing out, scaling the PA assistants or something.
Not yet. It's coming
in the future.
Yeah,
it's coming.
Man, that's I know that takes a lot of energy. So man, I know that's like I said, I applaud that to see how dedicated y'all stay from, like I said, making literally nothing to where y'all at now. So, we talked about inspiration. So some people want to know numbers. Like, if y'all think about it, like, what was like when y'all were like, oh, shoot, like, we doing good. We doing the right thing. It's like, what was the most y'all saw, like, maybe in a month, a year? And you was like, man, hey, Jeremy, actually, we can keep doing this and make a living. What was the most?
That was recently. I would say the last few months, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, starting off.
Honestly, no. It started in March.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It started in March because I had the women
this year.
2022.
Yeah, because we had the Women in Wine event.
Mm-hmm. That's when we really started.
That's when seeing the numbers. I was like, oh, yeah, people.
Because at first, man, we was having months where Black Book Houston may only bring in, and this is like starting off like in August, right, of 2019. You have your months where it's like $200 a month. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Gross.
Yeah.
Wow.
Gross.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think the largest month that we probably seen was like close to 40,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's God's work. Like, y'all stayed true for almost 2 years of doing that. Mm-hmm. Like, man, that's why I ain't gonna lie. Y'all blessings is about to, I feel like they on back order right now. You know what I'm saying? They coming.
Oh my goodness. Like,
cause y'all blessed. Even from my scene when I met y'all, a couple years back, like, y'all, like you said, y'all stayed consistent. Y'all stay committed, to the mission, which a lot of people, honestly, like, when we talk about that paycheck or passion, you know what I'm saying? You're going to be like, man, if that paycheck not panning out,
right?
You're going to be like, man.
And
that's why I always preach perseverance. And every podcast, I always talk about perseverance. And she laughing because she already know I'm about to give y'all my favorite Bible verse. Is James chapter 1, verses 2 through 4. I always say it. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, when you face trials of many kinds, because the testing of your faith develops perseverance, and perseverance must finish its work, so that you may be whole and complete, not lacking anything.
I can't wait to cut that into a short form realness.
Okay.
That's a collaborate on your. Hey, that one right there.
Yeah.
More people actually need to hear it.
Yeah, for sure,
man. Like, especially being an entrepreneur, we have so many doubts, and we don't have the understanding of why. You know what I'm saying? We need to stay true and persevere, and I think you're right. Like, perseverance is aligned just with passion. It's aligned with purpose. You know what I'm saying? But I think a lot of people think, again, perseverance is more so aligned with the paycheck or being in profit. And sometimes it's not always about the profit.
Right.
And let me tell you, I'd have been mad with God several times. Because I was like, dude, why you told me to do this? Because I was perfect. We was good.
Yeah, I was good.
We was good.
Yeah.
Like, when I say we was good, we was good. I was making my money with my little cakes.
Yeah.
He's making his money we was fine.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, okay, we chilling. And then one day, it was literally like, hey, get up, go file this DBA. So I did it. I was like, okay. Then it was like, literally everything that happens with Black Book Houston, most of the time it's like, get up and do this.
Yeah.
I just had a thought, like the gala. I was like, you're gonna have a gala.
Yeah.
And that's how, and I'm like, okay, this gotta be God telling me. But then as I'm on this journey, I'm like, bro, why is it so hard?
Yeah.
Like, we have lost so many competitions and different, like when we try to apply for grants, we never get them. I'm like, dude, it would be so easy for you to just give me the grant so I can go and pay for the stuff I need to pay for.
Yeah,
but instead, I'm over here struggling to make Black Book Houston happen. Like, why would you put me in a position to make Black Book to do Black Book Houston and not give me the resources that I'm looking for? And I'm like, dog, we could have used that $50,000 from that grant. Like, why we ain't get it? Then I see people getting it that don't need to get it, and I'm like, what? Yeah. We need it.
Now y'all out here giving money to people.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm like, so I'm like, yo, I done been mad with God because I'm like, you know, with like you said, doubt. I done had plenty of doubts. I'm like, ooh, we gotta pay mortgage, and then I'm like, ooh, we gotta pay for the office space that we don't never be in because we on the move all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like a long list of things we gotta pay for. You know, the app development is out of this world.
Yeah,
the cost on that is not cheap.
I believe it. I ain't got. I don't even want to look. I'll be scared to look at that invoice. I know what you're talking about.
I'm like, oh god, and I'm just sitting up here like, yo, like, why would you tell me to do all this stuff? Like, I've been wanting to get an app since 2020, and I've been telling people I'm gonna get an app, and people ask me, what's going on with the app? What's going on with the app? And I'm like, man, what the money?
Yeah, I was gonna say
y'all got some money. Y'all got app. I ain't got app money. Like, it's coming, but I don't know when you gotta check with God on that one. So like I didn't came to Jeremy. Jeremy just be carefree. I wish I was.
Because of the Bible verse I just told you. So
I'm the person that worry. I was like, Jeremy, we gotta pay for this.
God,
he showed it. Look, he didn't show this. He didn't show this before. Yeah, he gonna do it.
Yeah.
So
I don't understand why
not? He gonna do it again.
I don't understand why I don't grasp that concept. It's like, we done had a whole baby. Yeah. And I literally was like, how we gonna have a baby? I ain't got no insurance. I don't know. We don't.
God just came through it. Just,
I said, dang. Everything. If I wouldn't have had a baby when I had a baby, it would have been totally hard for me to have a baby, you know, any other time. And I was upset. I was like, why? Like, I'm mad. Like, why would you get me to have a baby in the middle of me getting Black Book Houston together? It's only me and Jeremy. Like, now it's just Jeremy. And I was just so frustrated. But I'm like, dang. That was really perfect timing. Yeah. You know? Like, that couldn't have been more perfect.
And it kind of helped us take a step back and realize that we didn't have to do some of the things that we were doing. And we could really lock in on maybe like 2 or 3 key things. And that like has helped us elevate and continue to go even more.
And my big mama, I would say, you know, God laugh at you when you got plans.
Yeah.
I be like, I swear, I be having conversations like with our council. I be like, cause they enter, you know, Christianity too, and I be like, why would God allow me to go with this plan? You know, I'm sitting up here thinking, oh, we finna get it. We got the goals, and then here he go with his plan. I'm just sitting up here like, why not just give me the? Why don't give me the playbook so I already know? Versus you let me think I'm about to, you know, have a hot girl summer, and now I'm pregnant. Like I feel played. Like I felt real played.
Yeah, but I think, you know, it's crazy. I just love to have, like, you know, like, I love to hear y'all struggles because, you know, when y'all do, which I'm big on manifestations, affirmations, and all that. When y'all do achieve, you know, the levels of successes that I know y'all will after y'all set out, like all these struggles and shortcomings and pitfalls and letdowns, y'all will look back and you know, this is a part of y'all journey, y'all story, and I think that's gonna be amazing. So when Oprah interviewing y'all, you know, and y'all sit in the Oprah house, you know what I'm saying? That y'all, this is the foundation of where y'all at, you know. And I was looking back like, man, I remember years ago they came onto my thing. So yeah. But man, I mean, I could talk to y'all, man, for hours. I really appreciate y'all time. But, you know, I want to ask, so one more thing, man, like, if you could give even any advice to anybody, it could be like a teenager, you know, it could be a couple in high school, y'all, inspiration, they may see this interview. What from both of y'all, each one of y'all having your own individual piece of like information advice, what would y'all give to somebody looking to follow in y'all shoes? If you can, like,
you want me to go first? I'll go first. It's simple. Perseverance, right? And then we'll save this. We'll save this for the next one.
Yeah.
When I get ready to release my book.
Okay.
But I'll say this. It's a lot that y'all see, right?
Yeah.
I was on probation for 5 years, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, at the age of 12 for almost killing one of my classmates.
Wow.
So from 12 to 17, I was on probation. And the Bible verse that I just gave y'all earlier, James chapter 1, verses 2 through 4, is what kept me and has helped me through my entire life and my entire journey to be able to still, like I said, become a civil engineer, to still be able to go to South Korea and work on a $16 billion project, to graduate from Prairie View A&M University with my civil engineering degree, go and work for a firm on a $1.2 billion project, and then to say, hey, I want to quit my job, start my own business, and then now be able to mentor, you know what I'm saying, at-risk youth and youth who are affected by the juvenile justice system to this day. It's just a testament of perseverance. So that's my advice to you. Have a strong relationship with God. Get you a Bible verse that you could lock into, hold on to, and stay firm in the word. And God gonna take care of everything.
That's true, because I never forget, I was listening to, like, a little while back, Steve Harvey was like, I'm not the most religious. I don't know the Bible from front to back, but it's these few couple handful of Bible verses that I sit on and I ride on and I apply to my life.
Absolutely.
And what you just said is aligned, like, perfectly with that, man. So yeah. All right, Sheik, what about you? I know Jeremy got prolific Jeremy over there. You know what I'm saying? No pressure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he got it. That's why he's the spokesperson.
Yeah.
So I would say consistency. I think you gotta win consistently. You gotta fail consistently, because in a lot of our failures, that's what we learn. You know, we tried to pop off the tours for Black Book Houston, didn't work. You know, but it's okay, because then we came back to the drawing board and we figured out a game plan of how to make it work. Like, we've never given up on our core vision and mission for Black Book Houston, and that's why we've been able to thrive. It's because we consistently focus on that goal. That is the main goal, is to make sure Black-owned businesses are brought to the light so that locals and travelers can know where to find Black-owned businesses. That's it.
Simple.
Everything
Not
just points back to that. And so we just been consistent. No matter what happens, I'm like, oh, it's COVID. Well, we going to get out here and go to these different businesses, see who open, make a list so people can find them and know who's still doing business. I'm like, oh, you know, Instagram ain't doing pictures no more. We doing reels. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to stay consistent. And we make sure that no matter what it is we doing, we're constantly consistent. We consistently in church. We consistently pray every night before we go to bed. We consistently try to eat better. That one is just...
There's always room for improvement.
You know what I'm saying? If you've been following me, you see me in the gym and I ain't losing no weight. Just know I'm still showing up. You know what I'm saying? I still go to the gym every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but I'm consistent. Like, everything that I do, any goals that I have, I'm going to consistently try to achieve them, whether it's roadblocks, obstacles, whatever's going on. You know, I think consistency has helped us get where we are today, because I could have easily said, you know what, they ain't rocking with me, I don't want to do it no more. Yeah. And then where would you find your Black-owned businesses in Houston?
Like, true that. Like, y'all have a platform that even in just such a short amount of time, like, and I know to y'all it doesn't seem like a short amount of time, but the average business owner, you know, doesn't succeed usually till several years down the line, you know, just get the notoriety that I've seen that Black Book Houston is getting now, especially locally here in Houston. And yeah, I want to tell y'all thank you from somebody personally who you affected, you know, personally and professionally. Like, y'all passion has affected me, and I appreciate, again, like, y'all, I want to say the little people, because we're not the little people or the little businesses, but we are the businesses that are the backbone of the city. You know what I'm saying? And that's why when we had the gala, I was like, you know, Houston is next up. And, you know, you see cities like Atlanta doing it. And, you know, I think, you know, with having, like, initiatives like what y'all have created, it's going to help Houston be the top city for minorities and kind of like the mecca for minorities, you know, where people will come to and exonerate and, like, look to come to and be in Black Book Houston's gala, you know, and travel from different cities, you know, because y'all are bringing this platform that's going to be promoted from a passionate standpoint, which a lot of people like myself can align with. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
I got so much respect for y'all, man.
Thank you so much.
We got respect for you.
We got a lot of love and respect for you.
I'll be like, I got to get to the step class. It's just that you're on the south side and I'm on the north side, and I personally don't care about that.
Yeah.
But the traffic, because like I had started coming at one point. I was trying to come over there when Jigarovis was there.
Yeah.
But it was taking me 2 hours there and back. I was like, I don't have the time to like try to.
We're gonna figure it out.
We definitely gonna make it work because I gotta
get
fine. I gotta get fine.
But yeah, man. Anybody before we go? Anybody I want to thank, man? Like personally, or anybody else? You talk about the top, the man upstairs, on to whoever. Anybody I want to thank?
Yeah, God for sure. Man, we want to thank you for allowing us to, giving us the opportunity to even come on your platform and to do this. Like that says a lot. Like you said, we've been rocking with you from the very beginning. You've been rocking with us, but a lot of times I like to give people their flowers. Yeah. So we want to give you your flowers, and
appreciate that,
because we see what you're doing as well. Yeah. It's not just about what we're doing, but we see what you're doing as well. So we want to thank you for the opportunity for having us on your podcast.
But I got to tell y'all this: I got a lot of interviews set up. I've done a lot. This is probably my top 3 that I was excited to do for 2023. I think I got interviews set up all to like the middle of the year. But honestly, I was excited to do this. You can tell Jazz, our production manager, I was like, man, like I got my squad coming through. I had to literally like, if y'all go back and look at the previous episodes, we have 2 chairs here. Mm-hmm. I had to switch out the chairs because y'all were the first dynamic duo that I got to talk to, and that's why, man, I was super excited. Everything has just worked out perfectly. I just appreciate y'all time, man.
Cool.
And I want to put I'm big on. I like the manifestations y'all talking. Y'all already spoke. Like I'm loving. We're gonna manifest that app. We're gonna manifest the 10 cities.
Yes.
We're gonna
the retreat.
All that, and then, man, I got a lot of it for me. What I want to do is, man, if I can be of any help and service to y'all, any Black-owned business or minority business in Black Book Houston, if I don't care, they ain't nothing charge. I want to get them on here, and whoever y'all think is doing something distinguishable in Houston. I mean, hopefully past Houston, but I want Houston. I told y'all it's about Houston right now. I love my city, and I love what it's done for us, and meeting people like you who are truly passionate and living in their purpose. And if y'all know anybody passionate and purpose, we get them on here.
I got a person. I want to give him a shout out as well, because you gave him a shout out at the gala.
Yes, sir.
And that's Ken at level 1.
I
want to give him. That's the home gym.
Man,
I don't do too much stepping or anything, but we're gonna get Chica over there.
First of all, it's for the ladies. That's the Queen's compound.
Yeah, we do.
It's some guys in there too.
We got
co-ed night.
Second weekend of each month. So I gotta get y'all over there.
But you gotta get Ken on there, because I love what you said at the gala about how he was your mentor, and and that's what it's about. To where it's like, we can be competitive in our own industries and still show love and support to one another.
Like I think a lot of people, especially when it comes to that, and whatever market or niche you're in, it can become so cutthroat. You're so focused on just you and what you're trying to do. And of course, we all gotta maintain our livelihood, but at the same time, like what y'all taught me through the event and the gala, which I wish I had. That gala could have been about 3 days long. Like, so I need this retreat, because honestly, like, I wanted to meet every single person in that room. I wanted to connect with every single person y'all had on the event flyer, with the invitation when we came, like, because that's what it's about now. Us as a people, like, it's great that you're connecting us, but we have to take the initiative now to connect and to collaborate, to build these relationships and build our city up, and not just the city, like our community, our culture,
for sure,
to be the best it can be and provide the next best opportunity for the next generations, coming behind us.
Absolutely.
That's what it's about. It's got to live past us. Like, I do this now. I don't do this for me. Like, I do this for my daughter. I do this for the kids who look at us, and they're going to need this information and tools. They may not be able to sit down with y'all, but they can listen to this interview and be like, oh, okay, so this is what y'all did. This is the struggles y'all had. Okay, cool. I'm not going to quit. I'm going to push through. I'm going to make sure it happens,
For sure.
Man, I appreciate y'all, man.
Appreciate you.
I ain't going to take up too much of your time. We got to do a part 2, though.
Okay.
We got to do a part 2.
We down.
And then after around June, July, when we get ready for the 5 years.
Yeah.
Get ready for it.
Oh, that's going to be perfect.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, man, thank y'all again so much, and I appreciate y'all.
All right.
Thank y'all.
All right.
Thank y'all.
Anytime.